Welcome back to the Healthy Commute. I'm Dr. Dan with Dr. Pascal. So today we're going to do the start of a three-part series on really how to maximize your results, how to really get better faster, especially with our newer patients in the last, let's say, year. We've put together a video, and if you want that video, just reach out to us and we can send it to you. But really, this video is basically called Get Better Faster. So we go over different stretches, exercises that you could do at home to maximize your results. But really, there's other things that you can do. There's really three main things that we see in terms of how to complete that circle and helping our patients get better faster. Today, we want to start with the first one, which is how to schedule your adjustments.
Yes. So I think a lot of people tend to think, especially at first, they don't understand why we would want to adjust somebody so often or so many times, right? When we start doing corrective care with someone, we want to start fixing the spine and helping someone get to that next level of health, not just being pain-free. And that's kind of the first distinction I think that we need to make, is getting people to a point where, you know, their spine is in proper position, their spine has proper function, they're healing better and doing better. To get there, we have a specific structure that we use to get the patient to that next level. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes that requires seeing someone very consistently, very frequently for a short period of time at the front end of care, which we call the corrective phase.
Right. So again, thinking of it like, you know, braces for teeth or anything where there's a process in place.
Yes.
And with teeth, it's easy to see. You got crooked teeth, you want straight teeth. Halfway through the process, no, it's not complete. So we need to stay with the process, right? Now, with the spine, the thing that's different is we can't physically see ourselves what's going on with the spine. That's why we took an x-ray. That's why we take your posture. We want to see the progression. So let's say at the start of care, a patient comes in, they may say, Doc, I've got headaches and neck issues from, you know, working at home on my kitchen table. So we may go through a few things with them, but we've taken an x-ray, taken their posture, and noticed, okay, your head is going too far forward. You're lacking the normal curve in your neck. That's putting the pressure on the joints, the discs, and the nerve, causing those headaches and neck pain. So now, what is the process in getting you back as close to a normal position? So we structure a plan of, okay, we're going to see you so many visits. We're going to give you this stretch, this exercise. And then now what falls on the patient is, okay, so now I've got to follow through in that process. And it's not that it's wrong, but most patients, number one on their list is, Doc, I just want to feel better. Right. I want the headaches to go away. I want my neck to feel better. I want to work without being constantly reminded of that. So within, you know, a week, 2 weeks, a month, you know, they may not be perfect, but the patient is going, hey doc, you know, I'm feeling better. I'm waking up, you know, with more energy, less pressure, less pain. Why do I need to now continue? Right? Where I'm halfway through the process. I'm feeling better, but we're missing that other link of that correction phase.
Right. So just to be clear, so when we're starting corrective care, we're following the protocols that are being put out there by all the research that's done with chiropractic biophysics that's done on the dental roll, right? They're seeing people 3 times a week virtually for 3 months, at which point they re-x-ray the spine to see to what degree have we corrected the problems, the abnormalities, like Dr. Dan mentioned, the forward head posture, the lack of curve. These issues that we measure, we're looking to correct that just like straightening teeth. And if we don't get there, we get 0 long-term results. In other words, if we cannot achieve that correction, you will just regress back to baseline. And that's what tons and tons of research shows us over and over. And so when we start care, we're seeing people 3 times a week for 3 months almost. Mm-hmm. And so people think, well, doc, that's a lot, you know, shouldn't I have more time between my adjustments? Like, don't I need like a week or 2 weeks between my adjustments for my body to heal? And often it's actually quite the opposite. The more consistently that we see you, the more frequently that we see you, the faster we can gain traction and momentum. You know, we were talking about this before. It's just like, you know, an exercise program or a diet program. If you're only eating 1 salad a week, you're not going to get that weight loss like you want very quickly. If you're only working out once every 2 weeks, you're not going to get that muscle gain or that change in body composition like you want. In reality, we could probably afford to see people daily for the first 2 months. And we'd get even better results if we could see them every single day.
Right.
So the 3 times a week is actually more of just a happy compromise to be able to get people in at that frequency that we need over the course of a week, trying to juggle the busy lifestyle.
Right.
But so now we run into the issue, okay, 3 weeks in. Okay, 3 weeks in now, we've done 3 times a week, you've done 9 or 10 visits. Doc, I feel great. Why do I need to keep coming 3 times a week? Mm-hmm. Well, because if we re-x-rayed at the 3-week mark or the 1 month mark, there would be very minimal correction.
Right.
Like we're not even, a third of the way into the process of actually getting you to where your spine is holding and stable.
Yeah. So that's where, yes, there may be a little bit of progression, but we're not there yet.
So,
right.
So you often feel better much faster than the spine actually corrects.
Right.
The symptoms often are the very first thing to go away well before we can achieve, this corrective improvement in the spine.
Right. So I guess this first, let's say, part of all of this is having your adjustments in rhythm. And so we talked about the frequency. At the start, we're going to need more frequency. But what's another thing that's very, very important in that frequency, even the 3 times a week, is ideally for a patient is to have kind of a schedule that they could have and their spines could kind of almost get used to. Meaning
Yes.
that, let's say it's 3 times a week, but it's 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 a.m., for example. So it's in rhythm, meaning
Yes.
that the body and that patient is now like it's part of their daily routine, brushing their teeth, where their workouts, eating food, whatever. Their bodies are almost they're expecting it. But what makes our job a lot easier is now we could then compare spines basically, from the same type of time of the day, meaning that one day it's not at 8 a.m. and then 3 p.m. and then miss one visit and then it's the other day and then it's 2. So it's all over the place. But the more adjustments in rhythm you could have, the better and faster there's going to be change in your spine.
Absolutely. And we see the difference too in those that keep that consistent schedule. I find those that set the schedule can stay on track over the course of the 3 months much better than someone that is trying to schedule random appointments every week. Now, granted, there are people that have jobs, shift work. They can't do it. We get
families,
it. Of course.
Absolutely.
We're talking about the ideal and the
Yeah.
perfect situation. So if you can, you're trying to schedule that. Because what happens if not is, it's very easy to forget where you came from, and then we fall into that trap of where you start feeling better, then I only get one adjustment that week, and then maybe I miss 2 weeks and I get that next adjustment, and then what happens is we tend to then regress again back to baseline, and it's almost like we got to start the
Yeah.
process and get that wheel rolling
Yeah.
again. And so getting someone through that initial 3 months at 3 times a week is crucial to then graduate you down to more of a maintenance or a much lower corrective process.
And it's not a perfect research, but it's when we see our patients, especially the ones that I've seen now for 10, 15, 20 years, the ones that have the best, most consistent results of just, keeping their spines moving well, feeling well, great changes on x-ray, are the patients that, let's say at this point now, they're having either one adjustment a week or one adjustment every 2 weeks or one adjustment a month, depending on their lifestyle and stretches and exercise that they do. But the ones that are super consistent with the habit of their adjustments have amazing results long time, compared to patients that are little, up and down in terms of when their adjustments are, or they miss 2-3 weeks and then back on 3 times, so the consistency is very, very important.
And then on top of the consistency are the 2 other elements, which we'll dive into on the next 2 podcasts.
Yes. Yep.
Which one is getting the proper exercises in, whether that's exercises for, there's a variety of different exercises. There's cardiovascular, there's general strength, there's postural exercises, and then reducing the bad habits that would create these problems in the first place. And so the patients who do only adjustments in rhythm will get good results, but not nearly as good of results as someone who can get all 3 pillars with consistency.
Yeah.
That's where the victory
And
happens.
that's our goal with our patients,
Of course.
is for them to ideally go through those 3 big pillars for them to have the best results possible. That's always our goal with our patients.
It's the goal for myself too.
Yes.
I do too.
Yes. So hopefully that could, start maybe for you to understand a little bit more about what the process is and what you could do to help yourself get better faster. So again, if there's any questions or concerns, give us a call here at the office, 204-474-1159, and enjoy the rest of your healthy commute.